fans, welcome back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OSC as we have returned with the semifinals of the StarCraft Evolution League number 1, the very first edition, the first of many. Shout out to SC2 in the chat as well, did notice you, a big part of the KSL. Again, the KSL is also an event that we've been hosting since its inception. Another great way to support the scene, another great way to support the community as well, to help fund and support Korean SC2, and I believe SEL also has a Matcherino page as well, question mark. I know the HSL had one, but I'm not as certain for SEL. Regardless is also going to be held on a bi-weekly basis, basically 1 week KSL, the other week SEL as well, as I believe Chickenman and Dave Tess are also working behind the scenes somewhat on it. Here we go. But for now, yeah, there's a Matcherino page. Hold on, I got you. I mean, it's already closed, but should be a match arena for each event. But regardless, we're here in the semifinals, and we're going to be jumping into SHIN versus HonMonO. SHIN, we just saw him take down Rebellion, looking very impressive. Likewise, HonMonO was hyper cheesy and aggressive against his previous opponent with Psyarch. Whether it came to proxies or Mass Wraith, he's an animal. An absolute animal. Aye. But I'm ready to be introduced to how they do compete and compare to each other. Let's go. Let us go. Some Korean on Korean action. As we're going to be jumping into Alkyone as game 1. It does, we don't have 2 coupon codes this time. Yeah. All good. But here we go. We're jumping into our next game and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkyone. We have our red Zerg player, the Korean Zerg representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Oh, Shema, papi, Shema. Chen Doble, good to see you. Once again, we're cheesing. Let's go! HonMonO, he's going to be going for a proxy. Not just 1, not just 2, but 3. 3 SCVs, 3 racks is being sent across the map at the 3rd base location. And we'll see how SHIN does respond, how he does compare against the massive Marine that's going to be coming his way. Oh boy, that's going to be a lot of Marines, man. Let's go. Again, HonMonO, he is the cheesiest player in all of South Korea. In SC2 at least, and maybe in Brutal as well. Possible. But HonMonO, he's hyper aggressive, hyper cheesy, does things his own way, has his own style. Can be a lot of fun to watch, maybe not so much to play against. And we'll see how SHIN does respond, how he scouts this, if at all. The Overlord should be checking. The second Overlord should be parked outside the natural. Basically going to be keeping an eye on any bunker. If the bunkers get placed, then SHIN can respond, can pull the boys, try and deny the bunkers. Otherwise, can be contained on one base and go for a Roach Warren as well. We shall see. As Marines are amassing, we're going to have 3 SCVs as well for bunkers to try to rush into the natural. HonMonO is set up and getting ready. As the Marines are building up. SHIN for now, hatch gas full, standard opener out of our red Zerg player. He's going to be settling in. You'll see HonMonO waiting for his first wave of Marines, and there we go, we pull the trigger. We have our first 3 Marines. And we'll see how quickly SHIN can respond and how quickly he reacts. Because it is 3 racks, it is very committed here. Needs to get damage done. SCVs are spotted, all 3 of them. 3 SCVs are spotted. Marines going for the Overlord, bunkers on the way. And SHIN, he instantly responds with the Gas Geyser with Roach Warren. SHIN, he's giving up on the natural. Okay, so SHIN is giving up on the expansion. The expansion is going to go down. Bearing in mind, because this is so committed, killing the base is not good enough. And HonMonO needs more than that. Does supply block SHIN, gets the Overlord. Overlord goes down. Yeah, and HonMonO, he's not happy with the expansion. He wants to go for the kill, go for the main. He's not going to waste his time. Bunkers on the way. The spawning pool is exposed. Yeah, the pool is exposed. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. Spine coolers on the way. And SHIN is going to lose a lot of drones here. So Falco stutter stepping. 2, 3, 4, 5 drones going down. Oh my god, this is becoming too much. The stutter stepping. And it looks like HonMonO, it looks like he's done it. He's dealing crippling damage. Too much damage. 13 drones go down. And there's almost nothing left. The Queen falls as well. Aye. The Queen has fallen. Even though we clean up all these Marines, the bunker is now done. 2 Marines survive as well. And that's too much. That's game. There's 5 drones left. 5 drones remaining. Lings, they do slip out. Ay. GG gets called, and HonMonO, just like that, takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Just a really unfortunate placement for the spawning pool because of the spawning pool being so exposed that forced the hand of Shin. Otherwise, he would never have wanted to have pulled the boys. Ideally, Shin did want to wait for his roach one, did want to wait for his roaches. The other thing I can criticize as well, maybe, is how late the Spinecrawler was. Spinecrawler was thrown down as the army was already knocking down the spawning pool as well. So a bit of a later Spinecrawler after the roach warren. As a result, there was so little to work with, and yeah, Shin, who was forced to reveal his hand in a sense. Forced to pull the boys. GG, well played. Just like that, HonMonO takes a lead. Oh my god. Does take a lead. Now we're getting into game number 2. Here we go. As we are going to be jumping in. And we'll see if HonMonO can catch Shin off guard once again. Again, he is the cheesiest player in all of South Korea. What does he have this time? As we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Zerg player representing Gaimin Gladiators from the land of South Korea down in the series. He is the favorite player to take the entire tournament, and he's struggling. It is Shin. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, leading the series 1-0, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. And this time, the SCVs are back at home. Important to bear this in mind, as HonMonO is of course playing the SE2 version of Terran. Rax is back at home, not being proxied, not this time. And Shin is going gas pool. So a much more aggressive start from Shin. I don't blame him after what just happened in game 1. With this opener, Shin is going to be able to rush into link speed real quick. So faster link speed for Shin. Potentially faster lair as well, going for a delayed expansion. Unfortunately for Shin, HonMonO is going for a more standard opener instead. So Shin is just being a little bit safer in a sense. I mean, I say safer, can get into faster link speed, can go towards a link flood, for example, or again, fast lair into fast hydras. We'll see how Shin makes use of this gas. Link speed is on the way, as we mentioned before. This is the purpose of the fast gas geyser into link speed. And we're investing quite heavily here. 6 links on the way. I'm curious if we double down and make even more. Meanwhile, back at home, HonMonO going to be expanding on the high ground. This is something that HonMonO does against aggressive Zerg players. If you've been watching HonMonO against players like me and Micah, for example, it's very commonplace to go for a Rax expand on the high ground instead of the low ground. This is very unorthodox and not very meta. It's just a stylistic choice here by HonMonO. Very stylistic, very safe. Reaper moves out. You can see Shin maneuvering with those lings. Link speed almost done. And cannon collapse on the army. The Reaper already taking a lot of hits. Shin turning back around. Reaper does survive. Backer hatch here for Shin. Investing a little bit further into those lings. And he is indeed going for the fast lair. I was curious. what the gas was going to be spent on. Giga fast lair here from Shin. Link collapsing in. Link speed is done. Now, at least HonMonO was able to scout this. Now, when it comes to the possibilities that Brutal Zerg have, I'm assuming this is... never mind. I was going to say, I'm assuming it's going to be for like fast hydras, maybe for a lurker rush, but you actually don't need the lair for hydras, so I'm curious. I'm curious what tech becomes available here with the fast lair. Are we feeling something crazy like 2-base Spire and 2-base Muta? We'll see. I mean, with the Sun Colony, with the wall that we're creating here, I'm not ruling it out. Do we go for the Spire? So far we're building up, third base being taken. And then, yep, there it is! Oh, Papi. Could be SC2, could be Brutal. We know Zerg, Baby. We know. So it is going to be two-way spy. I mean, to be fair, this was the only option. Like, I was trying to piece it together. I was like, you don't need the lair for Hydra, so it should be a spy, it should be muted. So two-way muted here from Shin. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have HonMonO embracing Bio. Is going for a 3cc 2-1-1. Ooh, okay. I'm curious how this compares. 3cc 2-1-1 is going to be a very strong stim timing here for HonMonO. And if Shin does cut corners, if he delays Hydra production, for example, and goes Ling into Muta, then I will be concerned for Shin. I will be concerned for him. As the Hydra Den is also thrown down. Interesting. So we're going... rushing into Lung? Oh my god. we're being so tech heavy here. Okay, I mean, hey, we have the lair, so it makes sense. Rushing into Lurker tech. Getting into the Spire initially. Into Mutas to harass, I imagine. And we'll say, I mean, Shin, he's cooking. Let him cook, Bobby. Let him cook. Where are we headed? Where are we going? Where are we going? Slings, they hit the third. Overload speed on the way. Okay, Scourge, not Muta. Okay, makes more sense. I think it was the last time that we saw this. A couple of games ago, we had the Spire, and I was like, oh yeah, it's for Mutas. It's like, no, it's Scourge. It's like, oh, I forgot that was a unit. I forgot that. So it is going to be Lurker with Scourge to support. Interesting. Okay. Lurker is already being morphed in. Scourge already. And this kind of reminds, honestly, this kind of reminds me of Robo Openers in PvT, where by the time the initial stim timing hits, well, with a 3-rack, for example, the Protoss player will have a Colossus in time. Will have a Colossus in time and will defend and deflect against the bio push. This is similar where here comes the 2-1-1, and Shin will have Lurkers just in time for this. Is it going to be able to survive and deflect this as easily as a Colossus would, though? We'll see. The army is spotted. Lurkers building up, getting in position. The whole position up. Oh, not quite. Okay. I was excited, Pappy. Mind Shot going off, takes down the first Lurker. HonMonO does pull away. Shin repositioning, but we're keeping up with the rotations of HonMonO. He's going to be zoned back. And Shin does defend, does survive, even diving on top of the army. Ooh, doesn't quite get it. Pulls away. Does pull away, but again, Shin, he survives the initial timing. HonMonO backing off, getting a third base up and running. Ghost production has begun thanks to the Lurkers, and we are entering the mid-game. We're calming things down. Mid-game is on the horizon. Working towards the infestation pit. Working towards the Phyllos, I imagine. And the game will settle. As long as Shin can keep up with these rotations, he should be okay, and the game should progress. HonMonO is settling to the rest of his bio. Evo Chambers now on the way. Bearing in mind that because of the lair rush, because of the high-tech composition of Shin, it does mean that the upgrades are lacking or non-existent, but Shin is catching up. Now with the Evo Chambers getting into 1-1. There, I was looking for them. As 1-1, now is going to be on the way. Very similar to what you would see with 2-base Spire or 2-base Muta in SC2. So the downside here means that the army, the Lings specifically, are going to be less upgraded. They're going to be a little bit more fragile, less effective. It's all about the Lunkers. This 2-2 is on the way. HonMonO pushing in. But once again, the Lurkers are keeping up. And the other interesting thing as well, the dynamic between medevac drops and Scourge. Again, the Scourge play a pretty big role here. They deny any kind of drop play. HonMonO, he has not tried, he has not risked trying to dive into the natural, diving into the main, dropping into the third. Like, the Scourge, they pose a really big threat to that. As a result, like, this composition or this opener here is just a really strong way for Shin to essentially turtle. Like, he's just being very defensive, turtling up. He has not moved out at all across the map the entire game so far. Finally will, but up until the 8-minute mark has just been hyper defensive and has worked out very well for himself. Link's moving out. Back at home, we have plenty to defend. We have Hellbats, we have Marines, we have Ghosts. Lings are poking in, but HonMonO is looking secure. Shin will get away. I was so confused. I saw this in the production tab. I was like, Roach Warren? What? I didn't realize they're using the Roach Warren as a placeholder or as just the building for a Defiler mount. I mean, it kind of looks like a Defiler mount, I guess. But I legit had a look of confusion on my face. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Ultra Cavern as well. Look, it works, it works. Initial Defilers on the way. Extra base being taken. HonMonO is going to be the first to move out once again, though. This time with Ghost with Snipes. Scans ahead of time, spots the lurkers. Ooh, Snipes going off. Shin has to retreat. Defilers are getting ready just in time for the push. This 1-1 is so late. As I mentioned before, the reason why the upgrades, or if you're, yeah, the reason why the upgrades were so delayed for Shin was because of the opener. Snipes going up. We were discussing about the initial gas opener earlier. Shin does try to collapse in, getting on top of the ghost. Oh my god! HonMonO does overextend. That was how many? That was 4 ghosts going down. Cutting the ghost cannon in half. Dark Swarm still active. Getting another ghost. And with that, Shin, he does take the fight. HonMonO unable to break through. At the same time, Shin going for another counterattack. Hits the 4th base. Oh, there goes. Get out of here. But last, thankfully, HonMonO has reinforcements back at home. Only 3 SCVs go down. Barely any economic damage. Ghost coming in. Oh, the legs. They get another. Oh, they get another 2. Another 3. Oh, my god. Yeah, 3 ghosts going down. Expensive losses here for HonMonO. And he has to back off. He's down to 1 ghost. Out of 9. As Shin, the lurker count is getting higher. More Defilers as well. Ultra's now in the mix. As Shin is reaching his final form. And with this Dark Swarm, we can just blow this army back. The helmets are helping, but... oh my god, the Plague! But HonMonO, he just cannot keep up. Not with this army. Not anymore. Not after those brutal losses. He's going to be reinforcing. But soon, Shin will break out. He's been stuck defending for the past couple of minutes. I mean, I say for the past game. The entirety of the game here, Shin has been stuck at home. But soon, he will break out. And when he does, it's going to be terrifying. Nice snipes. Getting 2 lurkers. Getting 3. 3 lurkers go down. And now he gets to collapse in. Another Dark Swarm. And they get the Dark Swarms. They just zone HonMonO away. At the same time, lurker counterattack. Not getting much done. Unable to break through. As Shin is maxing out. We haven't seen too many maxed out armies, actually, in this tournament. But we're getting there. Another Dark Swarm. The Ultras, they lead the charge. Oh, the snipes are brutal, though. Oh, my god. Snipes are still good. Not just against SC2 units, but against brutal units as well. Those Ultras, they melted, papi. Oh, my god. Where's that ghost? We need the ghost copy pasta for Brood War. That's what we need. Sniping another Defiler as well. Again, Dark Swarm is good, but Snipes, they don't care about your Dark Swarm. They one-shot you anyway, papi. The Dark Swarm does nothing. Ooh, as this massive Link Runway does force HonMonO back home, he's out of position. SCV is going down. Now, what's important here isn't just the economic damage. I mean, the damage is good, don't get me wrong. 14 SCVs going down, but Shin gets breathing room. Shin, he forces HonMonO to back off to give him time. And Shin is recovering. More Ultras, Links, Defilers on the way. Shin is remaxing. As HonMonO does come all the way back home to the natural. Shin going for the planetary. Ghost coming in, just the two. They catch a Defiler. Oh, but the ghosts are going to go down. Yeah, better engage here for Shin, and he's going for the planetary. Can he get it? Ah, not quite. Planetary survives. Ultra's going to get the hell out of here. Ooh, another snipe goes off. Oh, the carcass. Oh my god. Oh god. The momentum. Ultra goes down, but Shin is going for a massive Doom drop. Yeah, once again, HonMonO out of position. We're going for the natural, going into the main. The lack of sensor tower here is really crippling. Or, yeah, crippling HonMonO. It's killing it. And HonMonO, this time he doesn't turn around. This time he commits. He's like, I'm done, Papi. I mean, he's down to 35 SCVs. HonMonO is all in. Completely all in here. And can he break through? He's got Blue Flame, shuts down the Lings, catches an Ultra. Defiler not ready. Oh yeah, the snipes are insane. Big snipes going off. Down to one lurker. Sorry, two lurkers. And it looks like HonMonO might just have too much. Yeah, snipes every single high-tech unit. There are just too many ghosts. And Shin cannot deal with this. The snipes. Oh my god. The Ultras, they do nothing. As the natural has been broken. Again, HonMonO, he has nothing back at home. But he is getting into the main. Getting on top of the tech as well. The Defiler down goes down. Lurker gets sniped. And back at home, HonMonO, he's even holding onto the production. He holds onto the main. He's safe back. Ultra gets denied, going for the tech. Now, Shin still has all these bases, and Shin has mining. He has an economy, he has mining. He is, never mind. I was gonna go on a bit of a copium tangent and be like, yo, he can still make Lings and Ultras. Maybe he can hold on. Nah, papi, nah. GG, well played. HonMonO takes the 2-0 over Shin. GG, let's go. GG, well played. Shin was doing a good job at, of course, crippling the economy and forcing the all-in, but HonMonO had reached his final form of mass ghosts. Of course, not just ghosts, but also Hellbats to support as well. It's really interesting to see. Winding it back a little bit, what I find really fascinating is the way that the SC2 army compositions have to adjust. For example, the Hellbat, right? There were so many Hellbats being incorporated there, which is often not really seen in SC2 compositions because there's no need to, just because of the power of the Baneling, of Ling Bane, right, against Bio. But there are no Banelings for Brood War Zerg players. And on top of that, I believe Hellbats can still get damage done in Dark Swarms, right? Because Dark Swarms, they force melee damage. I could be mistaken, but I think Hellbats do melee damage technically. So again, they have like multi-purpose there. If not just that, then just protecting the Marines, right? Because there are no Banelings, winding it back to that again. So yeah, it's just really cool to see SC2 Terran players adjust to that, and oh, beautiful. GG. Doesn't block melee, splash and spell. Yeah. So like it's so because of that, like they suddenly Hellbats even suddenly become a little bit more viable here, where otherwise they get phased out, right? In SC2. Is just really interesting and really refreshing to see. It's different. It's different.